VGC is supported by Patreon. Check out patreon.com/videogameschronicle for more podcasts, ad-free browsing, and extra content. Thank you for your support. Hello and welcome to this special episode of VGC, the video game podcast, with Jennifer English and Aliona Baranova. How are we doing, folks?
We're great.
We're great.
Yeah?
We're great.
Jennifer English.
Oh, very nice. Is that available merchandise available now?
No, a fan gifted it. We've got one for Jen that I wear and one for me, like my face that Jen wears.
Yeah.
So let's just start talking about monetizing your faces. What's the plan going forward? Are we going to get t-shirts? Or are we going to get little figurines?
We should. Oh, I'd love
that would be really great.
Yeah.
But then also plastic waste.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, can you do a renewable, a clay, a compostable figurine?
Oh, that could be quite cool.
Sure.
Maybe you like plant the figurine and then it becomes like a tree or a plant or something.
Oh my god, that's the dream.
Let's take this offline because I feel like if this is a business opportunity, we don't want to immediately give it away.
Or like what's it called? I was about to say psilocybin, but that's a different thing. But like the ones that turn into mushrooms, and then it's like Last of Us crossover.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very good for the world.
Well, there's money to be made here, so we'll see you later, folks. We've got to go and have a serious
end of podcast.
Yeah.
Finito. We've got a business plan.
You guys have had a hell of a couple of years. If you could tell our listeners who don't perhaps know who you are from name, they've certainly seen your performances before. Could you give us a couple of highlights from the past couple of years from each of you?
It's been so busy that we don't know who we are anymore.
Who am I? What? So I'm Jennifer English. Hi. And if you play RPGs, you might know some of my games. I am Shadowheart in Baldur's Gate 3, probably most notably, or although rivaled with my Allen Expedition, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and then also in Elden Ring, because that's a flex, frankly.
Just a couple of big games, just the biggest games of the past couple of years.
Just a few. But also recently, Carlotta in Wuthering Waves. The most wholesome fandom, can I just say, as a little side note. Yeah. And then DOS 2. A few good uns, frankly. And then Aliona.
I would say, babe, that you are like an A-lister of video games. Like you are kind of...
Definitely.
You would say that.
Zendaya of video games, right?
Everyone's saying that. Every time I run into Ben, he's like, who is the Zendaya of video games? It's Jennifer English, so... Does
that make Ben Starr the Timothy Chalamet?
No, Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Oh, wait, no, you're not dating.
No, we're not dating. Timothy Chalamet.
Ben Starr is like the Keith Chegwin of video game performances, I would say.
What's it called? The one with the puppet.
Keith Haring with Orville.
Yeah.
Does Ben have a puppet? Is VGC's Ben's puppet? Who can say?
I was going to say like Balatro is like, what's he called? What's the Balatro clown called?
Bimbo.
Jimbo.
No.
Jimbo.
Yeah.
Jimbo.
I think that Aliona, I apologise for stomping all over your highlights to make fun of Ben Starr, but on this podcast, making fun of Ben Starr is the top of the agenda every time. So
absolutely,
I respect that. I respect that deeply. No, I was trying to think of what film actor is known for tiny, obscure roles, but was also young. Like it's not Tilda Swinton or.
Be the Tilda Swinton.
No, because I'm young, so...
Willem Dafoe.
Who does the weird tiny roles?
Young Willem Dafoe. You, that's you.
I'm the young Willem Dafoe. Okay.
Sure.
Right, so my name's Aliona Baranova, and I think people mostly got to know me from being a performance director on Baldur's Gate 3, and also being the... lucky person who romanced Shadowheart in real life.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think that deserves a congratulations.
It's on top of my CV list, actually. And I've also been a mocap performer and actor for years. Did mocap in Barbie and The Matrix. Revelations. Is that the fourth film?
The newest one? The one that came out a couple of years ago?
Yeah. Mocap in BG3 as well, but also played Corinna the Squirrel, the icon that she is in Baldur's Gate, which is the one by Althera. It is not the one that Dirge yeets. And what else have I done, babe? I've forgotten.
Oh, you were very recently Veronique in Liza P. And also Lena Melina in Cyberpunk.
Thank you. Yes, Lena Melina in Cyberpunk.
Just a few games.
I do the small bit parts, the small weird in Expedition 33, the one that everyone hates, Marie, who's at the beginning of the game. Everyone hates her.
C-wordy one.
And I love to see it.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
I know you said not to swear, but I feel like the C word. I'm like, am I allowed to say that? I say it all the time in front of Americans, mainly just to.
Me too. They hate it. They take it so badly. It's great.
Even the most liberal, I'm easy, fucking yeah. They don't like the C word, and I'm like, but it's part of our everyday language, and I love it. It's medieval.
Yeah.
Maybe we drop it in towards the end. That's a little tease for people to make sure.
That's what she's trying to say. Marie is
C-word E.
Yeah.
But that's a compliment. I would love to be called C-word E.
Are you doing any shit games, or is it only the biggest, most acclaimed games of the past couple of years that you accept being part of?
No shit games.
No.
Do you know what? I have done some shit games, but they're not on my CV. And I think you'd really have to mine through all the shit games that have ever been recorded in the last 7 years to hear me.
I didn't even know this.
Yeah. I remember recording one up north in a studio that I'm not even sure what it was.
How'd you keep it off your IMDb though?
I just wasn't credited.
Great. I got a voice agent this year because all my work has come through people just knowing me, which I'm very lucky for.
Excuse me.
And I did kind of say to my voice agent, no shit games.
Yeah.
No shit games. It's very easy to just. Well, it's hard. It's so hard though, Jordan, because most of the time you get an offer through, and you're not even allowed to ask what the game is. So you're like, I don't know. This is a shit game. This is a risk.
No, but we read scripts.
Not all the time. Then not all the time.
What, you've gone in and hadn't read the script? Oh, but so you're the one that So I Total Warhammer as well. I did that one, and that one was really cool.
Yeah, that wasn't in part of the shit game.
No.
That was a separate to previous
answer.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that all mentions of all those shit games you were talking about are taken out. You won't believe it. So that's actually leads me on to a question. Now that you guys are so booked and busy, how are you deciding what you take on? Is it what you really want to do? Is it challenging yourself in new spaces? What are the options that have been made available to you since all the Baldur's Gate and Clair Obscur stuff has happened?
Jen?
Do you know what? I wouldn't say, I think people have this misconception that we're just flooded and I'm getting an audition every day. Absolutely not. Don't get that much through. And when I do, I'm really selective about it because I just want to make nice, moral, brilliant choices. And again, it's really hard to know what kind of thing you're in for.
I would say we when we receive an audition, because we both have, Jen obviously quite a big profile and me also somewhat, we try to be responsible of what we take on because we know us being in it will get eyes on it. It will, people will buy things that we're in, therefore.
Which is crazy, by the way. Absolutely mad.
It's amazing.
We used to be able to, pre-BG3, you would just do anything and nobody would give a fuck. And, it was just I'll take it just because it's good practice and I can do a Kellogg's Crunchy Nut ad, which I did. And, nobody will know who I am and whatever. And you just can't, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, now, because of that responsibility, what we try and do, if we get an audition, we check with people we know, who is the studio? We look into who is the studio, what have they made in the past? Can I see the script? Sometimes you're not allowed to see the script, and we're like, well, I will only make a decision if I can see the script. sometimes it's like for you, for instance, it's games have come to you, and again, you've asked, "Can I see the script?"
Yeah. And have turned stuff down because I'm like, well,
because you got something like after Baldur's Gate release, you had something like, "Would you play Villager number 4?" Do you remember?
Yeah.
And you were like, "No."
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, and I do believe that they're like, you know, was it Stanislavski that said that there are no small part, only small actors. Like, and it's not like I'm like absolutely not, but like also like I want to do stuff that is nourishing and you know, characters that have beautiful stories or layers and stuff. And I think especially as women, and rewarding, and especially as women in the industry, like there are a lot of you know, sexy lamps. Have you heard that one where like if you can replace a woman with a character with a sexy lamp and it not change the storyline? Like there's a lot of those kind of roles and you know, ones that aren't written like Mael and Shadowheart and you know, like so it's about making decisions for ourselves and for our own like artistic fulfillment, as well as keeping our wonderful community in mind, knowing that they
will support
whatever we're doing. So
artistic integrity, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned there about the secrecy around the games industry, and it's something we talk about a lot, especially because in the context of film, Disney will announce the next 10 years of Marvel stuff and people will know what is going on, and like they'll be shooting Spider-Man in Glasgow 3 years before it comes out, whereas in video games a lot of the time you're not talking about it at all until a year before release, when all the press kind of materials get started. Do you think that model's outdated? Do you wish there was less secrecy around it, or do you understand why they do it?
I do understand why they do it, and it's not something I'm massively like bothered about, if I'm honest. I mean, I'm not really giving that too much of thought. I think it's really, I do wish actors were trusted with knowing what the hell is going on. And I think, you know, we were and I appreciate that, like, you know, Baldur's Gate 3 was written as we were recording. So we weren't presented with a full storyline because they didn't know it. But when there are scripts made in advance, quite often the actors will not be privy to them because of all the secrecy around it. And I think it harms the performance. And we were so lucky. I mean, with Expedition 33, we had an entire beautifully formatted, can I just say, script. Thank you, Jen Yen. And it really helped create the characters we saw. And so, like, I'm just like, that model works. We've seen it with Expedition 33 and like how beautiful that narrative plays out and how connected the actors are to the story. So I hope that's something the industry can learn from, because it helps, like, help your actors. And I think sometimes actors are an afterthought about, like, they're the afterthought. It's like, oh, they can just record whatever. And it's like, well, do you want your game to be brilliant, or do you want it to be a bit weird? So, you know,
you're kind of performing in the blind, aren't you? Sometimes, because you don't get the context, you don't get to the visuals of what's going on. But I also understand it from the point of view of there are so many actors in some of the game projects that we've been in. You can't tell everyone because they will leak it, or they could leak it. It takes one bad seed. Apple? What's the phrase?
Sure. Apple seed.
But it also breeds this amazing skill in video game actors of performing without, like, being in the moment, because we don't know what's coming, because we haven't been shown the scripts for the next session. Therefore, you just give it your all and just leave it all out there, put it all out there, leave it all on the table. I'm not doing well with phrases today, am I? Idioms.
Oh no, you're doing it.
No, but I think
you're doing great.
It's like, yeah, with screen and theatre, you will know the arc of your character, and you just kind of have to go with it in video games. But I think it creates a very unique skill set and type of performer, which is quite exciting.
Yeah. Running on instinct.
I wanted to, now that we're in like the behind the scenes of the performance type chat, this is something I've wanted to ask performers and actors in video games for quite a long time now. Are actors in video games compensated enough, do you feel? Obviously games are such a massive industry and bigger than films, but in terms of what you're actually paid commensurate to live action and theatre, what have been the changes over your career, and where is it right now?
The answer is no.
I'm
not well paid.
No. And it's why so many of us do conventions.
Yeah.
Like I would not be able to make a living off video games alone. Just would not. No, we're like, it made me laugh when I saw an AI article had been written about me, obviously, because it said not only did I have two brothers
that she doesn't have,
I do not, but also that I was a millionaire, and I was like, "Are you having a giraffe?"
Yeah, it's almost like pressure, because when people think that, we now put pressure on ourselves to like be that. You know what I mean? Like we always want to appear, like we take pride in our appearance. Like we try to look neat a lot of the time because now we're doing better financially because we've been doing conventions. But quite early on, we were like, oh no, people think you're a millionaire? God.
Oh my God, I do not have the lifestyle to support this.
When I was directing, had to take a second job. A lot of people do. And there are actors in Baldur's Gate who still have a full-time job and had a full-time job while recording. Like, I'm talking main companions had full-time jobs.
Yeah.
I don't want to say what the rates are, but it's nothing compared to what TV and film are.
It's better than theatre.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
It's better than theatre. I mean, theatre is...
But then you get paid per hour of recording. And if you're in the theatre 8 times a week on a job, you get that consistently. On a video game, unless you're a main character. If you're going in for a 4-hour role on one project, and that's it for the month, you can't really live on that.
No, I was in lots of debt, frankly, before Baldur's Gate 3. And thank goodness I've managed to get myself out of it. But it there was a point where I couldn't make my rent. And that's the, unless you're from a wealthy family. And I think it is why a lot of actors, including actors in video games, are from wealthy backgrounds, because unless you've got that, unfortunately, it's a really classist thing, because if you haven't got that financial support from family, like, how on earth do you do it? You just run yourself into debt, which is what I did. But or
have a second job,
or have
I did Amazon delivery.
Were you good at it?
No, I was so bad. It was so stressful.
This is pre-me.
Oh my God, it was so stressful, because they have this thing, it was called Amazon Flex, and they have this thing where you have to hit a certain number. Like, when you get your Amazon delivery parcel, sometimes you get a dick who just kind of like throws it at you.
Yeah.
After I did the job, I understood why that happens. Or like, if you live in an apartment building, they just dump it at the front of the building. They don't even make it to your door. It's because you have to get paid. You get paid per hour, but you have like 16 parcels in 2 hours to deliver all over the place that you're delivering. And if you don't complete it, you're not paid. And if you're you would just stay for longer. First time I did it, I doubled the amount of time I was meant to do it. Still got paid half the amount of time, but you just have X amount. And apartment buildings are so hard to figure out how to get in and buzz and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was the same well, no, I didn't fling my parcels at anyone, but I was a bit like, Amazon, hi, yeah, here you go, bye.
Yeah.
It's stressful, man.
Yeah.
But no, we also don't get royalties. And I don't know, I was thinking about this the other day, it would be great if it was restructured a little bit, because we know how much video games make. Everyone can do the maths. It would be nice if it was restructured and not just screen actors got paid a big bag to do the video game. If the actors who the video game industry sort of celebrates, also if everyone just kind of if it was a bit more fair, it would be nice. It would be nice.
It feels especially kind of unfair in an era where like I feel like a lot more casual and kind of moderate gamers know the names of the actors in their projects now more than ever. Like it used to be you could name maybe 3 or 4 voice actors unless you were really in it. But now the actors are getting fronted in marketing materials and events and all of this kind of stuff. And it feels like you guys should be seeing a bit more of that on the back end. But
I think sometimes we do, because certain companies will there will be like appearance fees, so that does happen now. Not always. Not always. Not most of the time, in fact, I'd say, but occasionally it does, and that's really nice when that happens. And you make it known and you're like, this company is incredible. What that means is they're helping me financially.
So I suppose, if not that there's one big actors group chat, but I suppose it goes around that when companies treat actors well, you all tell each other who to work with.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think especially the women in the industry, I think we try to be very transparent, and actually no, some of the guys as well, like we try to be really transparent with each other so that we can go like, are we being paid properly for this? And that's the advantage of having quite a small community. Like we all know each other very well, and yeah, I think people forget that, of course, we do talk to one another, and it's a really wonderful community.
Yeah,
like, it is
especially the
so
women.
so supportive,
because we're also checking that we're being paid equally and fairly. And I wouldn't even I'm not blaming the developers for this. Like, I'm not sure where it's going, because we know lots of developers and they're like, I haven't got the money either.
And
there's so many layoffs in the games industry, etc. So it's
a small part of a big whole of restructuring that needs to happen. But also we understand that it's a new industry, and
it's
a growing industry. And well, no, in comparison to sort of theatre, it's a very new industry, and it like it's hard to structure something that's so international, and it requires a lot of thought and a lot of change, and there's a lot of people that are really fighting for that change, which is wonderful.
It's very different to film and TV, isn't it? You wouldn't hear a Marvel actor being like, yeah, like I'm not getting paid as much as the crew, essentially. But when you're a developer working on a game consistently, you may be full-time or part-time, whereas we can go on to other projects. They will only be focused on one project, whereas we can do that one over there, and it kind of accumulates.
Be video game slags.
Good branding opportunity. I feel like a t-shirt with video game slags on it would do very well. I would wear a t-shirt with video game
Jennifer
slag
English. Jennifer English video game slag.
Yeah. I'm happy with that.
Look, I swear this wasn't meant to just be downer topic after downer topic.
I know.
No, you're good.
But now we need to talk about AI. So AI, demonstrably shit. Everyone knows this. I want to know, like, in terms of tangible threats, what are the conversations happening in the industry right now? Like, are people actively right now losing jobs that they've been talked about to AI, or is it more of like we can see it on the horizon, we want to kill this thing, let's do something before it's too late?
We are very, very aware of it, and we're all obviously concerned. And, where, like, I've got, because so much has been recorded and data farmed from Baldur's Gate 3, there are, like, hundreds of hours of my voice online that has then been trained to use AI without my consent. And I hate it so deeply, and it's frightening, and it feels like violating, and I try not to think about it because it's awful. Like, you can get my voice to say like the worst things imaginable, and that feels like I can't tell you how intrusive and gross that is. So of course it's something. It does feel like a violation. Of course it does, and please don't do that. Please don't even consider doing that without it being something that someone has consented to. You're icky, and it's weird, and I judge you. So yeah, and it's something that we have to be really careful about when signing contracts. And we're working with companies at the moment who are really open to that discussion. And I've just signed one where I've said I do not want any AI voices to be used, not just my own, because quite often it's just about your voice. And so for me, as someone with more of a profile, I'm aware that changes in the industry have to be made, and working with Aliona to write emails and have meetings, because thank God you're by my side in this. But to go, I like, it's not just me that needs protecting, it's an entire cast. So trying to make more of that happen, and obviously we have to be careful about which companies we talk about because of NDAs and things, but there are companies out there who are willing and agree. So I think a lot of developers do agree. Like, I don't know many that don't.
I also, you said you were the one that for a video game, like you've said no AI voices, but I also did that.
You did that too. Sorry, yes, Danny. Sorry.
No, you're okay.
No. I thought it was just mine in that contract for anyway. I'm just being careful about, and I'm speaking for myself. I don't want to get either of us in trouble. But so it's something we're both really trying to fight and well, not even fight, but like nip in the bud. I don't know many creatives out there that are in any way interested in it. So, and we understand that it's an important tool for creating video games. Like, it's been used for years. But as far as generative, AI. Creative, AI that's used in place of writers, actors, artists, no, I don't think that the audience want that either.
And I would say, I don't know developers that do want that for voices. When we've had these discussions, developers have said, no, we don't want that either. Why would we get rid of the people who bring the characters to life and make a project exciting? You can't really, who's going to do the press afterwards? Sure, the developer can, but when it comes to the character, you can't have an AI do the press. We haven't seen anyone say no one directly that we know have said they've lost jobs to AI yet. But yeah, like Jen is saying, we're aware of it, and we're putting stipulations in place in our contracts to say, if you have, like us, if you have me or Jen in your game, don't have AI voices. No character can be replaced by AI voice. Otherwise, we won't do it. And so far, developers are happy with that. They don't fight back against that. They agree because they also don't want it.
Excellent.
So far.
And, it's not like each company is different, and the conversation has to be like really careful because, but it is something, we really want to fight. And as I say, I think the audience would absolutely hate that. Like, anyone with a brain would hate that, surely.
I feel positive about it. I think enough people in the industry are against that taking over actors' jobs. From the conversations I've had, no one really seems to want that.
Yeah,
maybe smaller games.
I wanted to ask both of you, and you kind of set me off with the t-shirt that you're wearing. Obviously, the games and like the community that has built up around you guys over the past couple of years, like, what is that like? Is it overwhelming? Is it something that you have to get used to, where so many people not only know you guys, but feel you guys are quite public, feel quite a personal attachment to you? What has that transition been like in the recent couple of years of your career?
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think, I suppose as actors, you know that could come with the job at any point. You don't necessarily aim for being recognizable, but and I would say we're incredibly niche. But the people who support our work are wonderful people. We are so grateful that we have an amazing community of just right on people who, support us in the projects that we do, which is like incredible already, but also they're fucking cool.
Yeah, they're fucking cool.
They're really fucking cool. They're creative.
Yeah.
They're like really sound people. And for us, it can be a little, it took an adjustment period for sure, but it's also incredibly validating. And we're both young women. We can be quite insecure at times. And it can be a huge confidence boost, actually, having people that see you, validate you, support your work. And I feel like we've both grown in confidence because of the people who support our work. And sometimes as an actor, that's all you need, confidence. It really helps when it comes to being a performer because you're not second guessing yourself. And some people naturally have it, whereas for us, having a community that supports us is, well, for me, for I can speak for myself, that's given me the confidence to believe in my own abilities a lot more than before.
Yeah.
It's an adjustment period to have our relationship out in the open like that, and we have to be really careful to treat our relationship as sacred and not overshare, but also be aware that as an open queer couple, that we are some people's role models, especially young queer people in countries where it's not as common.
Areas in countries where it is common, but it like rural areas or with families that don't accept it, and all sorts. And I think that was the thing. Like when the game was first released, obviously, we had no idea, absolutely none, because before Baldur's Gate 3, especially in the UK, I don't think actors were given as much attention. So it's something we were not expecting in the slightest. And I think, it would have been such a lonely experience for me if it was just on my own. And obviously Aliona worked on the game for 4 years and it did more time on that game than all of us lot put together.
Not put together.
Well, like a lot, a hell of a lot. Yeah. Like people were really interested in us streaming, and because Aliona had such wonderful insight, and I was so glad to be able to have someone to do that with. And then the conversation of like conventions came along, and I was like, you sat next to me at the first convention,
London Comic Con.
and was signing things for free. And I remember our now manager was just like, what? why don't you come along? Like Aliona doesn't take the place of anyone. She sits by my side on the same table. And
which is great because we get to like chat all day long as we do it.
Yeah. And it's just I think it's really important to us to be the visible couple that we lacked growing up. Like I don't know any queer couple that I could see just being authentic, like hundreds of heterosexual ones, but no queer people like that. And so I think we really felt and still feel that, not responsibility, that sounds like an obligation, it's not, but like it's an honor to be that for people. And it's just, thank God, because also, as a very neurospicy individual with a lot of anxiety, it's really quite a comfort to have you by my side as well, but also to just have that person to share it with.
And also have someone to remind you to hydrate.
Yes.
Well, I mean, while we're here.
Hey.
not
Everyone
water,
hydrate.
unfortunately. Yeah, I thought when we're in LA for Summer Game Fest, obviously the whole Expedition cast were together and all hanging out, and it seemed like a really tight crew. Like, do you feel like because you spend so much time with these people, and then if it's a big success, you spend a lot of time with them afterwards doing press and award shows and stuff like that? Do you feel that connection is maybe tighter than it would be in other industries, specifically in video games, because of that cycle?
100%.
What do you mean because of the cycle?
Because of the press afterwards and stuff, and conventions and things.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I spend more time with Deborah Wild than my own family. It's wonderful, and you can't be best friends with. Go on.
Can I say? I think it's no. Go on.
No,
you can't be best friends
with everyone, but I think it's really magical. Like our friendship with Ben, for example. He's like a brother. It's quite beautiful, actually, and especially because we didn't get to record together on either of those games, so it's really wonderful to find that connection afterwards and travel the world with your mates.
I would also say in video games, there's less ego in the actors, therefore we all get along a lot more because people are really freaking nice. Look at me trying not to swear. I said freaking. People are really fucking nice, and that's one of the other reasons everyone gets along, because people are humble. It's less, look at me, I'm
the big I am.
And I'm getting paid a lot. No one's getting paid a lot, so everyone gets a lot.
Yeah, there's no trailer wars. Do you know what I mean? There's no my trailer needs to be next to the set.
I don't know. Ben's a bit of a diva.
With the exception of Ben Starr, he's the Mariah Carey of the video games. There we go.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's not at all. But there's a. Obviously there are exceptions, but we don't know many at all. The vast majority.
No, only a few assholes. No.
such as.
No, not at all. No, we are very lucky with our community, and from the devs as well, and the
devs are always lovely as well.
Yeah.
We've just come back from Gamescom because I was doing a Liza P community event, and the actors that we met on the Thursday, the event was on the Friday, and we got a house on fire.
The chemistry was insane.
Alex Walton-Regan, Joseph Alderama, and Rasmussen, I can't remember what his surname is, but who's Gemini in Liza P.
So cool.
And everyone was like, wow, you guys get along so much. We're like, we met yesterday. But everyone's just down to earth.
Yeah.
And then also we were hanging out with a lot of people in the actual industry, people from different news outlets. And everyone's just cool.
Everyone's just cool.
Maybe it's because everyone's nerds.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Clever, passionate people. We love to see it. That is, if I was going to summarize this industry as Jordan, you're in it as well. Would you agree with that? Clever, passionate people.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like the terrible people get weeded out very quickly.
Very quickly.
Especially because everyone's so gossipy. Everyone's so... when something bad goes down, it just fires round so quickly. Speaking of the Mariah Carey of video games, I texted him earlier today telling him that we were doing this podcast and asked for a question. And he sent back this. Ask them which one of them would last longer in a fight against me. That's from one Ben Starr. So who do you think would last longer in a fight against Ben Starr?
Aliona would annihilate Ben Starr within about 22 seconds.
That's so easy. Come on, Ben, ask a better question. I competed in judo.
Oh, wow.
Do not fuck with Aliona Baranova. Just don't.
I can throw a man over my shoulder.
She can. So, yeah. I think I would give it a good try.
I feel like if you and Ben would fight, it would be a lot of this.
It would be a lot of that.
It would. Cry.
It would 100% be that.
Because I competed in judo, especially when I was a teenager, I used to want someone to start a fight with me just so I could use it once. Because you're not allowed to use it because you want to. It has to be in self-defense. And so I'd always kind of
give it.
Yeah. But I think because I had that look on my face, no one ever tried it.
You have to look unassuming. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have some friends who have that kind of face where they've been beaten up a few times. People just go, you. And they're like, there's a few.
Yeah.
They just get beaten up. And you're like, why did that happen? They're like, I think I have a face. No one ever tried it. And no one should, okay?
Yeah, I was going to say, please do not fight her. Don't try this.
Oh.
You will hurt, but also just don't. Yeah. I don't want anyone arrested. Thank you.
Solid advice.
Really
the VGC podcast community sent a mountain of questions, so I'm going to pick through a few good ones here. This is an excellent one from Ashley for Jen. In playing both Shadowheart and Mael, characters you portrayed had their whole worlds turned upside down through Shadowheart's ongoing conflicts with her beliefs and the multiple twists centered around Mael. Your acting through both of these unimaginably difficult experiences powerfully reflects the conflict and pain felt by the characters. What emotions did you feel you had to channel to deliver those performances?
A shit ton. I got to, with Mael especially, I had to, rip my own guts out repeatedly. And it's not very often as actors we get challenged like that. And there aren't many parts out there that exist that require that. And so I was so grateful that it was written so beautifully and directed so beautifully, and I had the opportunity and I felt safe enough to do that. But my God, it was hard. It was really hard, and I had to channel something so deep and difficult and personal, because otherwise it wouldn't have worked. And I will always be grateful for that very hard and difficult opportunity. What a rare gem of a character and a piece. And I'm so and all the while, having to deal with technical challenges, like it going the fastest of any game I've ever recorded. And also having the technical challenges of matching mocap and lip syncing and making it look natural. Shadowheart was kind of easy in that I was just doing my own thing. I like mocap is doing stuff with mocap is 10 times easier, I think, than just doing it with voice alone, because you've got the opportunity to communicate physically. And thank goodness for Charlotte's excellent mocap. But it was so hard. So it was a great challenge. So yes, all of the emotions a lot and very deeply. And I cried so much. Those were real tears. Hooray for Expedition 33. Go on.
We just in our stream got to Act 2 after what happens to Gustav, no spoilers, and Jen's performance. Like, everyone's is fantastic. It's such a brilliant cast, but
it is,
there's the emotional depth of what Mael goes through. Jen would come home and need a cuddle and a cry because of what she was connecting to while in those sessions. And at the same time, she's playing a teenager. She's got to keep up the voice of a teenager. And I think one thing that, if I might add, that isn't sort of highlighted enough is you had the script for Expedition before recording, and there's so much detail and work that Jen put in. I saw her at home going over that script, and she does like this detective work thing where she really forms a picture of her character in her mind before the very first session, because when you meet Mael, from the moment she says hello, there are so many layers to her. She's been through so much already. Like, Baldur's Gate was being written, as you said, as we were going along, so you were discovering it at the same time and being incredibly in the moment. Whereas with Mael, from the moment she says hello, from the moment you meet her, she's already been through so much, and you can feel it in that performance. And I just think there she is. That's why #1 fan right here. I just think it's astonishing. I'm really lucky and happy that I'm in a relationship with you because I love your acting so much as well.
Well, ditto, yeah.
But like,
Thank you.
I'd watch someone else's and be like, oh, that's such great acting. They're really cool. And I'm like, oh, that's such great acting. She's my girlfriend. No, but you're phenomenal.
Thank you.
I really think that.
Thank you.
I think that the performance category this year and like every award show is going to be absolutely ridiculously stacked. But at least we know where one vote's going. The next question we have is about directing. What's something that the audience might find surprising, especially compared to the preconceived notions about directing performances for video games?
Ooh, okay. Here's one. So obviously on Baldur's Gate, I was a performance director for Pit Stop, where pretty much all of the dialogue was recorded. So people probably know that the voice director takes care of the voice. The performance director is who is employed when there's motion capture involved in a game. And so my job was to pay attention to the physical performance and making sure that that is in connection with what the actor is delivering vocally, so that it's all one. Because if it was just, sometimes when it's just voice, you can cheat it and you just kind of sit still but give an amazing vocal performance. But we're tracking everything. What people don't know, because I don't talk about it often enough, and neither do any of the performance directors. I'm lucky I get to speak the most, but I also want to make sure people know I'm one of a group of performance directors on the game. And yeah, I worked for 4 years on it, and there was me and this guy called Gabriel who were on it the longest. And we also had Greg Lidstone, who was hired for the last 2 years of recording Baldur's Gate, and he was kind of our, not superior, but the quality control would go supervisor. The quality control would go through him. But what so Larian would feedback and say like this needs to be changed, etc. But what people don't realize is the bass pose. So every time you do performance direction, there's going to be different limitations within what the technology, like the way the game is being recorded. On Baldur's Gate, because everything is mocapped, bar the animals, every performance, and this has not been done in a game, I think, like every single NPC. When you speak to one of the characters, whoever you speak to, every time they finish their sentence, they have to make sure the actor has to make sure they come back and hit something called bass pose. So there's the starting pose when you speak, you deliver your line, you speak, you connect like you're talking to the player, and then you always make sure you come back to the exact same bass pose. Throughout the entire recording process, as soon as the session started, we'd go, is that your bass pose? Great. After every single line, you have to come back to that bass pose.
And if you don't, you ruin the tape.
And that's why, like, that's one of the things that took so long, because we had to be so consistent with it. And yeah, you ruin the tape because, like, it's not natural. When I'm speaking to you, I'm not making sure I come back here every single time.
Yeah.
No one would do that. But we had to work with the actor, and we had to keep an eye on it. Also, the mocap technician would keep an eye on it. But we'd have to make sure that the actor made it natural to them, and that's not easy. So you had to connect to the truth of what is happening in the scene, what is around you, the environment that you're in when you're just recording in this grey box of a room, but you have to really see what's happening. And at the same time, have that technical aspect of always coming back, always, and making it look natural.
Yeah.
And when you play the game, you can't see it. I think majority of players of Baldur's Gate have never paid attention to this. But you would, if it was wrong, you would see it. But because it wasn't, because we did manage to make it look smooth and effortless and seamless, then no one picks up on it. And yeah, there were times when it didn't work and we had to go back and re-record because a character would kind of end here and then the player would speak and then the camera come back on them and they're suddenly here. That's when that doesn't land. And as an audience, it would just sort of take you out of the imagination of the world. You wouldn't feel as connected to the story and all these characters if we weren't there making sure every time the actor, and it was a ball ache for some actors.
Oh yeah,
especially ones who've maybe not done mocap, maybe not done theatre, because I feel like theatre actors are more in tune with their body, and some people would do amazing takes and we'd be like, that was fantastic, you didn't come back to base pose.
That was the nightmare. Like, because sometimes, like, at the end of the session, you get tired, your concentration wanes. And I just remember, like, there would be times where you were like, Jan, yeah, come back to base pose.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I just got through a speech.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you were so good at picking up on every detail. Like, you were amazing, so that we didn't have to then re-record stuff, because that's the nightmare, is that you do like a massive load of work, and then because something like that, like detail is missed, you then have to go and re-record it, which is obviously expensive and time consuming, and yeah, you quite often don't do as good a job when you're re-recording something because it's not as fresh. So yeah, thank goodness for performance directors like Aliona, who was so attuned to
you
the
have
actors'
to like
bodies.
pay attention like to so much fine detail in people's movements. But it's the nature of the way Baldur's Gate is. You see all those options that you have in dialogue to stitch it together. If someone finishes here on one line and then another line starts from here, that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So it had to, there was no other way of doing it. And maybe technology will develop and make it different. And I think it could maybe it could get keyed to be put into the position if it was out of position, but that would be incredibly time consuming. So in order to achieve all that dialogue and keep that immersion alive, it had to be done that way. So that's a little fun tidbit that people probably don't know.
That makes me want to go back and play the game again for the millionth time and see if I can notice the threads, although I'm sure I won't be able to. Just before we go, I wanted to ask, I can't remember if this was recorded or not, but you mentioned an issue with a dog before we started recording. Is the dog around? Can we see the dog? Like, what's going on with that?
The dog is the neighbour's dog. The dog is an incredible dog, but also a very excitable dog. And
he's only one.
He's only a wee baby. And he did piss on Aliona.
He pissed on my leg.
Look, like, I have the same reaction when I see you, babe. It's just, you're just a really exciting human being. I take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
Sure. So we started this to the listeners, to the viewers, we started this podcast a little bit late because the price of community is inconvenience. And our neighbour asked, because they're at Carnival today, whether we could check in on their dog last night. And we, as the soft-hearted people that we are, even though we're incredibly busy today, I stupidly was like, sure, at 3:00 we can check in, and at 6 or whatever, like after this podcast. And then we had other things going on, a bit overdue. And then, before we do the podcast, I run and check in on their dog, and from excitement, he pisses on my leg, so I had to come back home.
If he doesn't do, like, I'll do the second shift, and if he doesn't do the same to me, I'm going to be mortally offended.
Yeah.
So Jen was like to Jordan at the start, like, "Hey, Aliona's just coming. She's just cleaning dog piss off her leg."
You see, I thought that was going to lead into you guys having a dog that we could then spend the rest of the podcast
No, we go away too much.
Yeah.
No.
We go away too much. We'd love to have a dog. But it would be mean on said dog. But one day when we, some generous fan donates us £1 million to buy a I'm joking.
John Corcoran, who wrote Shadowheart and Housen the other day, was saying to me, because I say I get so many squirrel gifts, and he said, you should play, because the ideal house for me and Jen is like a cottage by the sea, and he was like, you should play a cottage.
Yeah.
One day someone will gift you a cottage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Instead of a squirrel being baby.
I like all my squirrel bean babies.
Yeah, she does.
I hold on to them.
She does.
I'm starting to get other fan gifts. And I love it.
Is your guys' house just full of stuff like that now? Like mountains and mountains of gifts? Yeah.
We have a 2-bed flat, and we have a 1-bed flat at this point because we have so many.
Yeah.
People are generous.
Very generous and kind. Very generous and kind.
And we're grateful. Like, we were talking about earlier about if it wasn't for conventions, we probably we would have to have a side job. Right?
1,000%.
That's the fans.
You keep on saying 1,000%. That's not even a percent. 100%.
Just shows how passionate you are about the fact that
1,000%.
No, but that's the fans that are helping us commit to just this industry or acting in general.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that's incredible. But yes, our second bedroom is full to the brim.
resplendent.
Because we accept everything, so we're like, yes, please. But now we've started to say, actually, we don't have the space, and we're going to do a little auction for charity for War Child.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Eventually, we've organised it. It's now on them.
Because
They're like, what are all these gifts? What is a night orchid? What do we do with this? Why a baguette hat?
Why a baguette hat? Why 17 berets? Yes.
So to sit down with them and
Just send them copies of the game. You'll understand it. Come back
You'll
in like
understand.
50 hours time. You'll be fine.
Yay.
I know the answer is often to this question that you can't say, but what's coming next that you can talk about? Anything?
We can. We're in Tides of Annihilation together.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Epic Glow Games.
Yeah.
Eclipse Glow Games or Epic Glow Games? One of the two. It's their first game.
Yeah.
It's their first game, which is really exciting.
Yeah, we're really excited.
Yeah. Being developed by a small company in Chengdu in China.
We'd love to go to Chengdu.
Yeah. Luckily, we've been to Beijing and loved it.
The people are amazing there.
So they've been really wonderful to work with, and have really it's been really collaborative.
Really creatively collaborative, which is wonderful.
We've come with some suggestions, and they've been like, yeah, tell us. We want to hear them and implement them, which is amazing.
Yeah, really, really great team behind that.
You've been announced for another game?
Oh, yes, I have been announced for another game from a lovely Italian company, 1348, I think. I think it's 1348 X Photo. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember the year. That's really bad. ADHD brain. I'll blame that. Sure. But there is a 3 in it, which I feel like every game going forward needs to have a 3.
It's a Game of the Year indicator. God. So at this point,
that's crazy.
I mean, whenever someone asked about it as well, like when people cast you guys at this point, they must just be like, that's it. Game of the Year's in the bag. We've got a solid 10 out of 10.
Just need a character to have. Oh no, I was about to give a really big spoiler, and I stopped myself. Well done, me.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet. Yeah, I don't know how it all works.
We don't know.
Fingers crossed. But
at what point are Expedition 33 spoilers allowed? Do you think?
I'm sorry to speak over you, but we're still careful with Baldur's Gate spoilers.
Yeah, we are. Because there are people new to it, and a lot of people who have played Expedition 33 have kindly said, like, oh, because you're in it, I then went to go and play Baldur's Gate 3. So, we still want to be like, there are still new players coming in, and want to be respectful of that.
So never, Jordan.
Never, Jordan.
20 years later, we'll still be like that.
Yeah. Nothing happens, and we cannot talk about it.
We do need to stop, because we stop ourselves from talking about certain things because of spoilers. And I think you tell us at what point, Jordan.
I feel like it's weird, Jordan, because obviously, specifically with Expedition 33, there's quite a big one that will eventually become just something that everyone knows. But it feels like once the year's done, people playing the game for the first time, they're like, where is Ben Stark? Just wait, he'll turn up eventually. So yeah, maybe a year afterwards. I don't know. Maybe if you guys win the Game Award, how about you just get on stage and say every spoiler?
Just say it. Or just like
camera.
Wear an outfit with it, just like reveal.
If you're not wearing dress versions of those t-shirts, then I'm not really going to be very impressed. But I'll get on that now.
Very funny. That would be very funny.
That's after we design the, what did you call the mushroom compostable mini
eco-friendly merch.
Version of the
boo-boo versions of ourselves. No.
Those are going to end up in landfill in like a year's time. Like that is
They are.
Sooner. I think sooner than that.
I would like a Mael Labubu though, just saying.
Stop. No, Jen.
Where is Mael Labubu, guys?
No. Jen once said she wanted a God's Favourite Princess t-shirt. We have about 30 now.
Yeah,
Don't say things on record like that. No. She didn't say
cottage.
And a cottage. A cottage, yes.
Anything else?
For £1 million.
Okay. Cottage, £1 million, Mael Labubu. Guys,
it's not hard, guys.
Before you go, anything else you'd like to plug rather than a list of demands from your fans?
A list of demands. Just play. If you haven't played Expedition 33, obviously play it. What are you playing at?
And please appreciate Aliona Plaza.
Oh yeah, Aliona's. Yeah, no. Tell you what, if you have played Expedition 33, go back and see if you can find Aliona without googling it. See if you can find Aliona's 3 NPCs because they are all iconic.
They're all in the prologue, and they're all very close to each other. And when you put the same person performing different characters in a video game, you tend to spread them out. Different acts. You tend to spread them out in different acts, so no one picks up on it. And the director of Expedition, Guillaume, thought it would be funny to put them all in the exact same spot.
He's got a very good sense of humour.
But it was actually kind of funny, kind of great, because when people started playing the game, I was like, oh no, Guillaume, why would you do that? Everyone's going to be like, is there only one actor in this? What the hell? And nobody knew.
Nobody knew because she's a very versatile woman.
Young Willem Dafoe.
That famously versatile Willem Dafoe.
Oh, is that not who he said at the beginning?
Yeah, but like he's not. I wouldn't say Willem Dafoe. Like I feel like Willem Dafoe is very recognisably.
Willem Dafoe. But who's versatile then? I'm them. Small
Gary Oldman.
No, Jordan? Who's a screen actor that does small?
Oh, now you're asking. I famously hate films, so this is really difficult.
Who hates film?
I have a film degree. I hate films. It's a whole thing.
No.
It would be another hour of this
That's
podcast.
Really but that's the thing about character actors. You don't know their names.
Exactly.
They're not the Zendayas. You can't sell a film off them, but they're there. They fill in the little roles.
Really bailed me out there. I appreciate it. Just as we bring this to a close, we have correspondence again from one Ben Star who says regarding Aliona battering him. He says, that's what I'd want her to think, parentheses, fair. So I think that's thank you very much, guys. This has been a lovely conversation.
Thank you. It's been
hopefully
wonderful.
We can get you back soon enough. Anything you would like to plug? Socials, your guys' Twitch, what you guys are up to, go for it.
We just got a message from Kepler Publisher Otto to say PR says it's okay to chat spoilers now if you want.
No, we don't want.
We don't
want.
Let people discover themselves. We stream. We have a lovely community.
Yeah, only come on our streams if you're sweet though, because otherwise we don't want you there.
Yeah.
Like that's something I'm happy for it to not grow. I'm like, I love them. like, don't come in unless you're really sweet.
Yeah,
that's it. No, just
our War Child.
Oh yeah.
Yes, plug that.
Fundraiser auction when it's not happened yet, but maybe follow us on socials and then we'll announce that when it comes.
Yeah. Buy some signed stuff from us.
But it goes to
for charity.
And War Child do amazing work.
To plug. Yeah. War Child. Just follow War Child. That's it. Don't follow us. Follow War Child.
No, follow us to hear about the auction.
Oh yeah, that too. How many have you? Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for watching / listening to this episode of VGC the Video Game Podcast. We're going to talk about Expedition 34, the brand new game that both these guys are going to be in pretty soon, so look forward to news about that. Until next time, patreon.com / Video Games Chronicle. We'll see you later.
Bye.